Well, I don't want to make things awkward for you, John, but it is our opinion that Fox News needs to fire its pollster.
During a painfully awkward Fox News interview, Trump Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller became visibly triggered when the MAGA Fox host he was talking to confronted Miller with the disastrous results of a Fox News poll about Trump, and Miller demanded that Fox News fire the pollster rather than engage with the substance. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, I got a clip or two to play for you here. Stephen Miller is one of the top Trump aides. In many ways, he might be Trump's closest advisor. So he technically works under White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, but he is in many ways the policy architect of the Trump administration. There's audio and transcripts where he actually refers to cabinet secretaries who at least nominally outrank him by their first name. Oh, it's Tulsi, it's Marco, it's so-and-so. We've actually seen clips of Stephen Miller speaking with cabinet secretaries as though he's on an equal or superior basis, okay? This guy wields outsized influence in the Trump administration, and he's, one of many almost comic book supervillains in the Trump White House. Reviled, disgusting. He's a white supremacist, a white nationalist. He's the architect of the cruel immigration policies. And so for whatever reason, Fox News decided to interview him about Trump's first 100 days, and this exchange was painfully awkward.
Let's talk a little bit about successes and near successes and things you still have to work on in terms of the first 100 days. New Fox News poll shows that the border has been one of your big successes. The cross-border illegal traffic has been reduced by 96%. Illegal aliens reduced into this country reduced by 99.99%. On this Fox News poll, President Trump gets big marks on that, 55% approval. He's about even on immigration in total, but everything else, he's sort of underwater. And particularly on the economy, tariffs, and inflation, he's well underwater. You've still got some work to do on that front. A lot of people think that he's spending too much time on tariffs and not enough time on the economy and lowering prices. What do you say?
Well, I don't want to make things awkward for you, John, but it is our opinion that Fox News needs to fire its pollster. And I won't surprise you with that. I don't think you're surprised that I'm saying that. But the Fox News pollster has always been wrong about President Trump. They were the ones that said all summer long that Kamala Harris was going to be the 47th president of the United States. So we don't acknowledge any of that polling. But I want to touch on the border issue for a quick second, because this is so significant.
So again, he doesn't engage with the substance at all, doesn't engage with the criticism, the pushback. And by the way, John Robert, the MAGA host there in question, delivered it as gently as one possibly. We want to talk about the successes and the near successes and the things you've got to work on. Basically, the good, the great, the good, and the almost good, right? It's so pathetic how Donald Trump and his top advisors have to be treated with kid gloves by Fox News, because they're so afraid that at any point Trump will basically pull the rug out from under them, as he attempted to do during the 2020 election when he felt that Fox was insufficiently loyal. And again, he gets big marks on immigration. I mean, look at this here. Let's go back and look at this. He gets big marks, on border security. He's amazing. It's awesome. 55%. Okay, but meanwhile, inflation, tariffs, and the economy, those are awful in the opposite direction. Instead, he's like, well, they're kind of underwater. I mean, and again, just the asymmetry with which Fox has to engage in a way that they simply never would under a Democratic administration is telling. And instead of engaging with the substance, Stephen Miller, as Trump has done, just publicly demands on air that Fox fire its reputable pollster. You're insufficiently loyal. You're not sharing the good news. You're behaving like a fact-based poll organization instead of a propaganda arm of our cult. How dare you? It's pretty pathetic stuff. But unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that this isn't going away, or has not gone away. I've got some other clips to show you here, courtesy of a different network, Harry Enton, a data analyst for CNN, breaking this down. But the fact of the matter is the polling consensus from Fox, CNN, Siena College, the New York Times, AP, Reuters, Ipsos, I mean, just the aggregate is unflattering towards Trump. He is objectively the least popular president in modern American history, particularly at this point in his presidency. So we're going to have Harry Enton break some other things down. And Stephen Miller, unfortunately, would never engage with CNN on this issue, just as he won't with Fox. But the facts speak for themselves.
You know, we're talking about tariffs, we're talking about the economy, and it's just a disaster. I mean, that's the only real word you can use to describe it. I mean, take a look at Trump's economic approval rating now versus 100 days in to his first term, and what we see is it's 10 points lower, right? The economy was a strength for him during his first term. Now it is a weakness. Now it is dragging him down, and we talk about history, right, and historic numbers. I look back for every single president since Jimmy Carter in 1977, the lowest economic approval rating through 100 days belongs now to Donald John Trump. And more than that, you know, tariffs are also related to foreign affairs, right? Your relationships with other countries. So take a look at Donald Trump's approval rating when it comes to foreign affairs. You see, again, lower than the first term. You see it underwater, 39%. And again, that is the lowest on record all the way back since James Earl Carter in 1977 when we began polling that. And I love to see the smile when I refer to him as James Earl Carter.
No, it's that you're shouting at us.
I guess I'm so
it's
excited.
the 1900s that
I'm just so excited. Numbers get me excited.
I know
Anderson.
they do. I know. That's why we love you, Harry.
Thank you, my friend. I mean, look, we've been talking about it. Donald Trump's overall approval rating, when you put it all together, is the worst on record at this point through 100 days. And the fact is, the only one who's anywhere close to Donald Trump was him in his first term at 44%. He's a dozen points behind Joe Biden, 24 points basically behind Barack Obama and George W. Bush. The bottom line is what Donald Trump is doing right now is not working in the minds of the American people. And I can guarantee you this. If Donald Trump's approval rating is 41% come November of 2026, you can kiss goodbye that House majority for the Republicans. And there's a decent chance as well they could blow the Senate as well, which is something I never thought could possibly happen given the map.
I like that you actually went through on the actual.
So I hope Harry Enten is right in that respect, because the Senate map is pretty dire for Democrats. It's extremely unlikely that, all else being equal, that we reclaim the Senate in the 2026 midterms. Now, the House is eminently gettable, and Trump helps us towards that goal every damn day with one disastrous policy after another. But yeah, you lay it out. I mean, my God, his only competition in terms of unpopularity is himself in his first term. MAGA hates President Biden. MAGA hates Barack Obama, President Obama. Both of them were objectively far more popular than Trump at this point in the respective administration timeline. Just no getting around it. And it seems unlikely that Trump will be able to reverse course on this. He might be able to stabilize, but it seems unlikely that he'll be able to totally reverse the momentum. But in a separate segment on CNN, Harry Enten dives even deeper on a particular issue, which is Trump's sense of empathy with the American people and whether or not Americans feel that he's connecting with them and understands them.
In his first term, what was the top term Googled with Trump in 100 days in? It was Twitter. That's what they were thinking about when they thought about Donald Trump. They were thinking about something associated with his personality. What is Donald Trump going to tweet today? What is he tweeting last night in the wee hours of the morning that I might have missed? Versus right now, what's the number one term associated with Donald Trump on Google? It's actually tariffs. So from the first term, what you had was personality and temperament. In the second term, what you have is about an actual policy. But again, in some ways, they're sort of similar, right? Because what's the new tariff policy going to be today? But again, one was about personality and temperament. That was in term one. And in term two, it's all about policy, tariffs.
So compare the feelings on the Twitters and the tariffs.
Yeah, so this I think is so interesting, right? Because you have personality here, you have policy here. But the disapproval, very similar, right? Disapprove of Trump on his Twitter use. It was 67% back in 2017. What about tariffs? 65% disapprove of his tariffs now in 2025. So what you're essentially seeing is folks are arriving to the same conclusion, but they're getting there via different roads. In term one, they dislike Trump's personality. In term two, what they dislike is his policy. Again, the key policy being tariffs, and that, of course, is driving the economic approval rating going down.
Let's stop right there. What's interesting is I remember, and I'm sure you all do as well, that during the Biden presidency, and even during the 2020 election and other places, they were like, oh, you know, all you guys think about Trump is just mean tweets, is what I would give for mean tweets in a great economy. Setting aside the fact that Trump's personality is indeed a relative factor. I mean, a person's intelligence, their sense of judgment, their sense of mercy, empathy, compassion, patience, these things are personality traits, and they absolutely impact a presidency decisively. So I would argue, yes, personality does matter when you're discussing the most powerful office in the world. But here, it's not even that. People are like, yeah, his personality sucks. And by the way, that's never changed. Trump's likability, his favorability versus approval, his favorability, whether or not you like him, it's always been underwater. People don't like, generally speaking, Donald Trump. There's a cult of personality that does, but the average American simply doesn't. They think he's an asshole. and they don't like him. But now they're saying, in previous times, we would be willing to set that aside as long as you can deliver me meaningful results. And I would argue still the American people were wrong on that because I don't think Trump did deliver them meaningful results, but set that aside. They were willing to. Now they're saying, it's nothing else, guys. It's policy. Trump's actual decisions suck. They objectively suck, and they're hurting me and my loved ones. That's a hell of a reversal of fortune and definitely sticks it to the MAGA crowd that's like, oh, Trump's policies were great. You just got stuck on his mean tweets. Polls say otherwise.
Then add it all up. What do you see in your analysis here?
Right. Okay. So again, if it was about personality in term number one, and it's about policy in term number two, but again, all roads lead to the same place. And that comes to this, which is Trump is out of touch with the concerns of most Americans. In April of 2017, 58% of Americans said that Trump was out of touch with the concerns of most Americans. Now it's 60%. Again, what this comes to, Kate, is that most Americans think that Trump has taken his eye off of the ball, but again, they're reaching it for different reasons. In term number one, it was because he was tweeting out every single gosh darn thing. In term number two, it's because, wait a minute, we don't want anything to do with tariffs. We wanted Trump to bring down inflation, but in fact, tariffs could bring up prices. Again, different roads, but it leads to the same ultimate conclusion, and that is a high disapproval for Donald Trump because he is out of touch with the concerns of most Americans.
Which shouldn't be surprising, right? I mean, Donald Trump was born into a life of privilege. He, was born as the heir, the scion of a New York multimillionaire, multi-billionaire real estate mogul. He became a reality TV star. He's never had to empathize in any meaningful way with the American people, although he occasionally gestures in that direction. And he certainly doesn't govern in that way either. Again, pretty disastrous results 100 days in. And getting all the way back to that first clip, Stephen Miller, again, feels comfortable enough to browbeat Fox News. I'll fire your pollster. And who knows? I would not be shocked if Fox News actually did fire their longtime pollster because the results speak disfavorably of Trump. I will remind you, we learned during the text messages and documents and leaks during discovery in the Dominion voting systems case against Fox News that there were producers and on-air talent urging that the decision desk, the desk that actually decided or rather called results and projected results, winners and losers during the presidential election, there was pressure within the company for the decision desk, which was also long reputable, to reverse certain decisions so as to appeal to Trump. Oh, he won Arizona, but maybe we could just walk it back and try to buy him some time and he'll calm down a bit and his viewers and his supporters will calm down. So if they're willing to do shit like that 5 years ago when Trump was less powerful and had less influence over the Republican Party, I would not be surprised if we see a notification tomorrow saying, yeah, Fox News is deciding to part ways with its longtime pollster because of pressure from Trump and Trump's top advisors. But the facts are overwhelmingly clear, whether Stephen Miller wants to hear it or not. Donald Trump is objectively unpopular. He's objectively less popular at this point in his presidency than any of his Democratic predecessors. And that says something. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.